Hello, welcome to White Birch Tarot and Astrology. This is December 25th. I should know that because it's Christmas here. And just thought I'd do a quick reading. I'm not going to talk a lot about the astrology because I wasn't really planning on doing this. Well, I kind of was, and then I decided I was too tired, and then the cards were calling. I just want to start off with a quick couple of quotes from the astrologer Rob Brezhny, Breszny. I love these things that he said. He said, "You are allowed to change your mind without providing a dissertation or an apology tour. What feels like procrastination is sometimes your intuition refusing a badly framed question. And if something consistently drains your vitality, it's not your spiritual assignment, no matter how noble it looks on paper." Okay, I like that. I wanted to pull out every single deck tonight. That's just the kind of mood I was in, but I didn't. So I'm not going to really talk about the astrology, but I just want to quickly say that Venus has recently moved into, I just lost my train of thought. She moved into Capricorn. Yeah, so that we have the Sun, Venus, and Mars in Capricorn. Excuse me. And we have Mercury and Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius. So this is, I just kind of wanted to see what Capricorn season was going to be. And I was going to do a romance reading, but it just didn't feel right. But I will one of these nights. But the cards are really interesting. And I hope I can put them together. I usually see a pattern, but I'm just going to go down the line because, and I wasn't really thinking relationships on the bottom, but I think it might be. Okay, so this is the Oak, Ash, and Thorn deck by Three Trees Tarot. Oh, I forgot to turn up the light on my, oh well, I hope you can see this. You know what, let me see it. Does that get rid of the shadow if I turn on that other light? I wonder. It's the angle. I had to move my table and it messed everything up. I hope you can see this because my iPad's low. I start out with the Four of Swords. And this is a much needed rest. I want to look at sometimes they put it differently. Yeah, in this deck, they call it Sanctuary and Healing. So I'm going to go with that actually because I think, well, I don't think I know, 2025 was a really difficult year. We all know that. And I think 2026 is going to be better. It's going to be challenging, but there's going to be more action and I think more progress and less, like looking back and dwelling in the past. And not that things change overnight, but you know what I mean. I think there's going to be more forward movement. I think 2025 was just a bugger. I don't know. I'm going to turn on that other light. I don't like this. Let's see if that helps. It might. I know I've knocked this crooked. Okay, here we go. Now I feel like there's more shadow. Okay, anyway, Four of Swords. So we're taking a mental rest, and it's well-deserved, I think. So it's time for, I mean, it's the end of the year almost, and, you kind of can't help, but it's not, I would say it's not really the end of the year, but it is because of the solstice. Although that could be argued, I suppose, that actually the year starts in the spring in Aries season. But anyway, whatever, calendar-wise, it's the end of the year, and I think it just sort of brings up that, summing up what happened in the previous year, and I think we're tired, and so it's time for some rest. Unfortunately, or maybe not, the next card is Judgment, who seems to be hanging around a lot lately, but that kind of makes sense. I've been talking about the karmic aspect of Saturn and Neptune at the tail end of, stop doing that focusing thing. I have to put this down. Saturn and Neptune doing that, I was going to say doing that focusing thing. No, at the tail end of Pisces, closing out an entire karmic chapter. And this is rising above the fray and, you know, just thinking about what's gone and where we want to go from here and getting a different view, taking a wider view and seeing if we can rise above the things that we feel like, stop doing that, the things that we feel like we did wrong or that we wish would have gone differently. We need to rise above those things. I guess it's going to keep focusing like that. And then this Knight of Cups is a little different. Instead of someone coming in, he's offering a gift, yes. But it's more like there's an aspect of considering where the bird is deciding whether or not he wants to accept it. So there's that. It's just a little bit different. It's an offering. Someone's offering some help. But there's an aspect of deciding whether or not that's really for us or not. There's a choice here in a way that there normally isn't with the Knight of Cups, if that makes any sense. And then, of course, because it's Capricorn season, we have to get some work in. We have to be productive, and we have to think about money and, you know, deciding what's real and what we want to work on. This is working hard at something. But he's got something to work with also. So some energy comes in, some money comes in, something real, maybe some help comes in with the Knight of Cups. And now we get to work. So now we've been thinking, you know, there's been kind of a lull. We've been kind of stuck in the mud for a while. Now things begin to move in Capricorn season. And now we start making some plans and putting one foot in front of the other. And I think we're going to start actually making some progress. Now, I think this bottom row might have been a relationship row because I was kind of thinking of doing a relationship reading when I was thinking about doing this. And then I didn't. I don't know. So normally, this is bottom row. Normally is either shadow or relationship. I think it might be relationship, but I'm not sure. Let's see where it goes. So we get the Ace of Cups. And this is an interesting one because like the Knight of Cups, I feel like there's an element of deciding whether or not we want to accept it. It comes out of nowhere, or, you know, it's just a free gift. But I feel like there's almost an aspect of Narcissus here where he's sort of, you know what I feel like he's doing? I feel like he's scrying, you know, where some people can take the water or the crystal ball and they can see images. I feel like he's looking for the future, seeing things about the future in the water, almost like he's in a trance or something. But he's considering. He's not just going to automatically drink it because it was offered. But it's there. Something's being offered. I love that snail. Anyway, oh, there's two of them. I never noticed that before. So there's an element of intuition with this Ace of Cups. It's being offered to us, but I think it's coming out of our own intuition. And then we get the Eight of Cups, which is walking away and letting go of something. Often it's something that's very emotionally difficult to leave behind. But this, I was going to say this person, but he's clearly a squirrel. Cups are squirrels in this deck. He knows he has to go, he or she, or they has to go. So, yeah, there's something that, you know, I mean, we've been talking about that too, that with Saturn and Neptune at the tail end of the zodiac, there are things that we're going to have to leave behind, literally and figuratively. So there's, and then, so we already have one major arcana with Judgment, and then we get another with the Devil. I didn't expect this. Now, the Devil is the card for Capricorn. It doesn't look like it in this deck, but it is. We have like, what, Luna moths and foxes. But they are twisted up in the vines. So there's an element of being, you know, not codependent, but well, could be, but trapped, obligated in a not so good way, feeling stuck, feeling like you have to do something that maybe isn't yours to do, an old emotional pattern, something that, you know, you feel it's just something you've always done this way, and perhaps it's not the best way to do it right now. So maybe think about, you know, where are you feeling stuck or obligated or just in a pattern that's not really getting you anywhere. There's that. And then we end with another major, but we get the Tower. And I don't know why I wasn't expecting this either. But, you know, Uranus is still retrograde in Taurus. That brings about physical changes and like the weather. Oh my gosh, the flooding on the West Coast here in the U.S. and just the bizarre weather we're having. I just posted on, I don't know how you can see my posts. They don't show up in the notifications, I don't think. But if you go to my channel, I post photos, and I was walking around. There's a man-made lake very close to me. And I was walking around it today, and it's so humid outside that there's literally fog hanging over the lake. I've never seen it like that before. We've been socked in with fog for 2 days, and it's like 40 degrees warmer than normal. It's weird. Anyway, that's Uranus in Taurus, causes all kinds of physical changes. So there's something we need to walk away from. It's an unhealthy pattern. And it looks like, I don't know, it looks like either the realization, I feel like this is more than a realization. I feel like this is an actual event that happens that, I'm not going to say takes it out of our hands, but something changes. Something sudden comes in. Maybe we just make up our minds suddenly. That's possible. And we just say, okay, this is not working. But I think something happens that almost, I want to say not forces us, but kind of forces us to move in the direction in which we already knew we were supposed to be going, but we didn't. We haven't, but because it's hard to leave or it's hard to face up, you know. I get this feeling like with the bird looking in the cup up here and this squirrel looking in the cup, it's like we kind of know something, but we're not quite ready. I drew 2 oracle cards too, so perhaps they will clarify. But yeah, I think something's going to happen that's going to force us to make a decision. I just noticed this is like on the edge of a cliff. I never noticed that before. Huh. The tree's balanced at the edge of a cliff. I don't like heights myself. So let's see if we can tie it all together with the oracle cards, which are very interesting. Now, I'm not surprised to see this between worlds, because I feel like we've been between worlds all friggin' year. I don't know about you, but honest to God, this has been the most bizarre, just, we are moving into something new. And I think with these 3 planets in Capricorn right now, I think we're going to literally start making some changes. And again, it may not happen overnight, but something is going to. That's vague, but it's different for each of us. But we're betwixt and between. But, you know, he is walking, so we're moving into this. And I think we're finally starting to get some glimmers of what color the future is going to be and what it's going to look like. And then we get this card, which is my favorite card in the deck, and also the one that makes me the most sad for personal reasons. It's time to go. And it's kind of like the Eight of Cups, except that she's headed toward, she's on a pier, she's in the fog, and I think we all kind of feel like we're in the fog with, when Neptune and Saturn are together, especially in Pisces at the tail end like that, the certainty is really not the order of the day. Having faith is. But she sees something up here. It's a doorway, it's a gateway. It looks like the door's closed to me, or there's a gate or something. But anyway, she sees where she's supposed to go. But beyond that, not so much. But she knows it's time to go. And it's sad kind of, but it's like a party to, you know what I mean? There's stars and light, and yet there's fog and nothing under her. It's an interesting card. You know what? I'm trying to think if I've ever read, surely I've read the book on this. See if there's anything different that I'm missing. I feel like that's really important tonight. Endings, completion, walking away from something because there is nothing else to learn or experience. You are at the end of one journey and have not yet begun the next. Well, that's why we are between worlds. Where's my oracle card? That's why we're between worlds here. Yes, we know that. This is the moment to bless your experience thus far. Take stock of what you've learned. It's time to move on to new experiences and a new way of being. There is nothing left for you to do, be, or experience in your present circumstances. Take the risk and move on, even if you need to be in transition for a time. Your destiny is calling you. And if it's a relationship, it says it's over, or at the very least, the form this relationship has taken is no longer of service to you or the other person. This is a time of letting go, of knowing that the journey has come to its conclusion. That doesn't mean anything is lost. It's more about release and destruction. Okay, and the protection message says, even if it appears that you reached the end of the line and all is lost, it isn't. You're in a situation that will resurface again later, so consider this a break rather than an ending. Destiny is in charge here. You lose nothing and gain everything when you surrender to that fact. Your soul knows that your destiny is unfolding with perfect timing and synchronicity. Your small self has doubts, but that is natural, as it doesn't have the map of your destiny. The soul does. Spirit loves you. Trust that. Okay, well, let's hope so. I think perhaps that's why we're having these things offered to us. But again, yeah, I don't know. I'll just be curious to see how this manifests. And there's some hard work ahead, but it looks favorable overall. I just really felt like something wanted to come out tonight. So I hope this resonates. Please let me know. And please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons. And Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. Happy solstice. Happy Hanukkah. I don't know when that ends. Sorry about that. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy whatever you choose to call this time of year. And I will talk to you later. Blessings. Good night.